Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. It is another edition of Hot Mic. I know you probably missed us at Anaheim. We had relegation matches to get through, but we are back for Stage 2. It's a fun, loose, weekly show in which we're going to be joined by 4 players from the Global Pro League. I'll be Maven, your host, and joining me, we've got a great group of guys. So we'll introduce you down the road. First, I have Nameless of EG, the Wheeler himself. How you doing, buddy?
Doing pretty good. Ready to talk about some COD, man.
Yeah, you guys, another top 8. How you feeling coming into the event?
Feeling pretty good. You know, we got like our best placing of the year at the last event. You know, getting ready to try to place better at this next Stage 2.
Let's get it.
And, you know, place top 2 in groups.
Yeah, it's been awesome to watch you guys throughout the course of the year. Next up, it is the Anaheim MVP, arguably the best Call of Duty player in the world. When he's not scrimming, he's carrying me in World of Warcraft. It's Octane from Luminosity. How you doing, pal?
A little under the weather, but the show must go on, right?
All right, you're going to be all right, though. You're going to have just enough energy to get you through. I hope you feel better for the matches, but how you feeling? You got to be feeling good coming out of Anaheim, man, getting the victory.
I'm stoked to play this weekend, man. We have the first week. I said it at Anaheim, you know, we're straight into the next one.
That's true. We'll keep on rolling. We've got a crazy, 6 weeks ahead of us. Buzzo now from Australia, New Zealand.
Don't ask me how I'm feeling after Anaheim.
We're going to talk about that later in the show. Usually at the beginning, we highlight the success stories. No, I'm kidding, buddy. It's good to have you again. This is your second Hot Mic. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Honestly, I thought we were having a rehearsal before this, and I just jumped straight on.
Oh,
I'm happy. I'm good to go.
You're a veteran, man. You don't need rehearsals. So we just get right into it. And Tommy of Fnatic. How you doing, sir?
Not bad, not bad. Same as everyone else, trying to get it to playing this weekend. Just get these days done as fast as we can and jump straight in.
I'm excited to have you back on the show. You've joined me here before as well. All right, so we like to do social call-outs throughout the course of these shows just to get opinions from you guys on Twitter. The one we're curious about. Now, you're going to use the hashtag MLG Hot Mic, tweet at MLG. A huge trade went down last weekend. It was between eUnited and FaZe. We're curious who you think got the better end of the deal. Now, we're going to talk about this on the desk because I know people at home are probably really wanting to hear what pros think about this, but we'll talk about that a little later. For now, get your tweets in. Let us know what you guys think. Who do you think came out on top? Was it eUnited or was it FaZe? And actually, to kick things off on the show, we're going to start it off with some questions. MLG tweeted out earlier just asking you guys, you know, whether it was out to pro players, out to spectators, questions you had for this group of guys. So I believe we have one question to kick off the show. We'll see who that's going to be. This is actually from Clayster. Why is Nameless Octane's counter? All right, is there some history here, Nameless? What is this?
There's zero history here.
I honestly don't know why Clay tweeted that, but I guess we'll see this weekend, pal.
Ooh.
I guess so.
He's sick. You guys want to know how he got sick?
What do you put something in his food?
Listen, I play all types of games, not just
I like
competing.
I like that.
In game,
the mind games.
out of game.
When Colt wakes up coughing tomorrow, you know what
Whoa. I'm guarding Colt in my life.
There's going to be a lawsuit coming up between LG and EG. All right.
warfare.
We also like to show kind of funny clips sometimes when we start off shows. I know we had the great one of Renato Saints coming out on stage a little bit earlier a few weeks back. But this week, it's not as much funny as it was one of the better moments we've ever had in the Call of Duty World League. We're going to take a look at the final 60 seconds from the Game 1 hardpoint from the Anaheim final. That was Luminosity versus Splice. Octane was in this one. Let's take a look.
He was in it, all right.
Yeah, I was definitely in it.
Splice storming out into two-piece from Octane. Oh my God!
I thought we won it there.
Honestly, you were in.
I thought the
Sam was
game was
focused.
over. I thought the game was over.
10 to an explosion.
Dude. I thought the game was right here. The game was over.
I'll be honest, I did too.
And then Nato, look, dude, Nato's coming in for the trade. And
Sam, you got to commit to the kill right there, bro.
Nato was screaming that he had it.
So Nato let you down here. Is that what I'm hearing?
I'm not going to say it. He knows.
Wait, hold up, Sam, yo. I got a question for you. Why didn't you use your streak right here?
Because it goes both ways, man. Either I streak and I'm out of trades, which, yeah, streaking is the best.
Wait. There was time on rotation. They needed 10, bro.
I was the first one on the hill.
Still could have streaked it.
I'm the first one on the hill.
Could have called him
and then Nato would go kinetic. Dude.
That's what I thought it was done too. When he got cut down with kinetic.
I was the first one on rotation to this hill when I died. After
yeah, it goes both ways. I would have called the bombardment.
I should have streaked, 100%.
That was, I think, whether you were a casual Call of Duty fan, an esports fan, a player, that was one of the more insane hardpoints I think we've had.
Honestly, it's normally depressing sitting there watching everybody else win, but I mean, after watching that, I was fine with that.
That was
Dude,
dope.
I had an interview before we did this, and I was thinking, like, they asked me about that hard point, and I thought back to Champs last year. That exact same scenario happened in Champs last year against Splice. 1 point, 249, 250.
Wait, was it the Envy French game
hard
1?
point.
Yeah, that was the crazy one where they were down
No, it was us.
massively.
It was us and Splice.
Oh, you and Splice. I was thinking of the Envy Splice
something
one in the
like that
final that
too.
was really crazy.
That
They
was
came back and it was
fringe,
close.
John
All right. Well, first, I guess I want to hear your point of view on this. So I heard the guys talking about the fact you had streaks, but when I talked to Clay after, what was it, week 2 or 3, when they had the crazy game with Rise, he was like, no one's saying anything but screaming, getting the hard point over and over
that's
again.
all I was doing, man.
Is that what the comms basically were?
Getting the hard point. Because, like, when I died after I got that streak, I spawned back drill, so I was the first one in the new hill. And I died again, but I spawned, like, way out. And I probably should have streaked, but, like, I feel like if my teammates die there, then I'm not there for trades, game ends anyway. But I 110% should.
It's just a
At that point,
judgment
it's just
call.
reactive.
Because if you got first kill there,
Go.
I got a kill, there was 2.
oh yeah, still.
Yeah.
So
Then
were-
it just comes down to trades.
Well, just out of curiosity, for the 3 guys that weren't playing, were you guys watching in the crowd at that point, back at the hotel? Like what?
I was in
I
the
was
front
watching.
VIP section. Like
Back in the crowd
front row.
watching it.
Yeah.
Because I could hear, I know we cast in the back now, so we don't hear the crowd noise as much sometimes because like we've had events where we're kind of out sitting in front of the crowd. So that was like the loudest that we heard it throughout the course of the week, and I was like, holy hell, people
even I
are
heard it.
losing it right now.
Yeah, we were hearing it.
That was wild. So I also want to ask you just what was it like for game 1 to go that way, to lose that close of a game? You guys bounce back and win the next 3. Were you just not phased, just kind of shrugged it off?
It's the thing I like about my team is, like, if we have that type of map in a series, or like if we go down an early map, I'll be the one to say it's like, just forget about the map. Like most teams, like they'll go down on themselves, they'll nitpick the map, like in the middle of the series, they're like, oh, how do we lose that? Why didn't you do this? And like we'll just drop it, play the rest of the series out, and then talk about it after. And most of the time, it helps us, like in that situation.
Well, it certainly seemed to work out. All right, well, we do have a lot of Call of Duty. Sometimes on these shows, we go back and forth. We've got fun topics. We play games. We're going to focus a little bit more on COD this show just because we didn't have an episode for Anaheim. So much has happened, whether it's team changes. We've had the Sheffield event. We've had Anaheim, relegation. So many things have gone down. We're going to talk about those quite a bit with the pro players up here. Tommy, I want to start with you and talk about relegation. So first off, I want to know what was... I guess the attitude like for you guys, how stressed were you going into that, because so much was kind of on the line for you to get into stage 2?
I'd say we were more annoyed than stressed. I think we came into relegation with the most wins out of all the teams that were going relegation together.
Yeah.
With our group being with what EG did, going 0-2 and then flipping it around. So, I mean, we were more annoyed. We knew we'd just get back in. It was just a case of hurrying it up and getting it there and just getting it done. We beat Supreme 3-2 first game, I believe. Yeah. And then
one of the American teams, yeah.
Yeah, and then we played Supremacy straight after that and won that, so it was pretty simple.
So you guys got in pretty quickly. Other teams had to grind it out. Buzzo, I'm curious for you. I want to talk a little bit about maybe teams that exceeded expectations here. But first, for you, you guys were in. You didn't have to worry about it. You had to watch Tainted Minds go. What was it like watching some of your former teammates try to kind of battle it out in relegation, and then? I mean, it had to be interesting to kind of see them have.
It was like mixed. It's mixed emotions. I mean, you sort of want them to do good because they're Australian. It's like I mean, it's not a big deal as American teams because there's so many teams, right? But for us, it's like, oh, there's one other team here that you want them to do sort of well, but then part of you sort of, doesn't want them to do well because one of them is your ex-teammate, so you sort of want them to burn a bit. But,
Whoa!
Whoa! That was a choice term.
Yeah. No, but they played well. I think they were probably unlucky. I mean, they were 1-0 up against C9. They won the, they got to win 2 S&Ds and a respawn. They got to steal a respawn, and they stole that respawn, and C9 clutched up. But yeah, I mean, they played well. Besides that, they beat a weak Millennium, I believe, who have now made a roster change. But yeah, they beat a weak Millennium, which was, I mean, I guess surprising still because I feel like they should have still beat Tainted Minds, but it is what it is.
All right, well, let's talk about teams that we thought it maybe exceeded expectations. Let's start, Tommy, in the end, maybe with European teams. So we see Rated go to Red Reserve. He left a team in Elevate that had already gotten in, which people were like, oh, that's interesting. But then they just smoked through. Were you surprised to see how well they performed? I mean, it was impressive.
Not really, no, because Rated used to be on Red Reserve for the first event of the game, Gfinity. They won that. Obviously, they had Trey then, but then a lot of changes happened after that. And I think the change from Elevate to Red Reserve for Rated was sort of in the clockwork for a long time. So he sort of attended that event knowing just do his job here, help this team out, and then he knew he was just going the next day. So I wasn't really surprised to see them just jump straight back in where they left off, really, Red Reserve. Everyone thought they'd get straight back in.
Yeah, it was, I think, 6-0 map count. They just cruised right on through. I want to talk to the North American duo here. Were you guys I think we had pretty high expectations for Cloud9, but for Bittersweet now Ghost Gaming, what were you guys surprised at all? They kind of cruised on through. What do you think about that team through relegation?
I was surprised, yeah, especially through relegation, how good they played. And then they 3-0'd us like the first day.
That's true. It wasn't just relegation for them. They started cruising it out.
I was like, yeah, man, they're nice, dude. And they play a lot. They play like all day at home. They scrim AM teams. And they'll just grind. Doesn't matter who they play. So I was definitely surprised.
Well, what do you guys think about kind of Spacely getting back in? Because I know he's a guy that's been a consistent in pro leagues and a lot of other titles. He's been on the outside looking in throughout this year. Sam, what do you think about Spacely? I think he's one of the more kind of liked players among the pro community. Was it good for you to see him kind of get back in through relegation?
Everybody loves Mike. He's one of the players that definitely, above all, deserves to be in the league, in my opinion. He plays insane amounts of COD. Like, he deserves to be in the league. He puts in the work. He's a great player, and I'm happy he got in with my old teammate Devin or Lamas.
There you go. Yeah, a lot of guys that have been outside looking in, making a run there.
Yep.
Now let's talk quickly. I know we talked a little bit about Tainted Minds, but I don't think that there were extremely high expectations for them going into it. I want to talk about teams that underperformed, and Tommy, I think it's safe to say Millennium probably top of the chart for that. What went wrong with that team? We're going to talk about Anaheim maybe a little later, but even if they weren't expected to do a deep run in Anaheim, they certainly were expected to, I think, come out of relegation.
It's a tough one. I mean, personally, I think what ruined them was the fact that before their week, when they came here, they came out for a week and they were playing non-stop there for like 8 hours. They'd come here, scrim, go back, play, and they were draining themselves out. So then they went into their week, and I think they finished 0-6.
Was that before our week?
Yeah, and I believe they finished 0-6.
And it was something like it was 9 series in a row they had lost dating back to stage 1.
Like, I remember before, they were like arguably going to come out of our pool.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Like, fell completely flat.
Well, I think they just burnt themselves out. I think they never really had a time where they took a break away, all of them, when no one played, and that sometimes you need that to just refresh yourself. So I think they just played and played and played, hoping things would get better, but ultimately it didn't, and now they've made a roster change, as I said earlier.
Yeah, it's like the polar opposites for a team like Epsilon, who started slow and has erupted, and Millennium started pretty hot, and now just completely falling apart. Well, we talked a little about relegation. Let's chat just briefly about Anaheim. I guess the thing that stands the most to me, and I think a lot of the guys, is you have just these giants of Call of Duty. When you talk about, your FaZe, your Envy. I mean, Envy finishes top 24. Yeah, the worst finish ever for Envy. You two guys, can you touch a little bit on why you think maybe Envy's struggling?
I think, honestly, it's the ERADs. I think that John and App, for some reason, it makes no sense to me. I don't like ERADs.
It's so good.
And they were so good with the VMP last year. It makes no sense. Like, I actually have no idea why they're not good with it. And I don't think they like using it. So I think that's their big issue. And the ERAD is obviously the meta right now. You have to have like 2 of them running around. I think that was probably their main issue. I think like it's weird because they go from last year, John and App, just the best sub duo and all. They're good at this game.
Oh, they're great. They're great at this game, but like they know how to win and they know what it takes. It's just like them forcing themselves to do that is just such an issue for some reason. And I don't know. I think they just get frustrated as well because they know they should be better, and I think they're kind of.
I think they have like this this mindset that they won champs, so it's like, all right, we can win every single tournament we go to, and it's like they haven't been doing that, so like the confidence is like probably stripped away now.
Well, and it's a similar story for them and FaZe in the sense that there were a ton of roster rumors, like changes going into Anaheim. People hearing they might be dropped, and they're not dropped, and they're playing. I guess, has anyone, Tommy, Buzzo, in the end, I'm curious, like, do you think, how much does that affect the team going in? Like, if you think there's going to be a team change for your roster, then all of a sudden you're stuck playing with them in Anaheim, that's got to be a pretty big deal, right?
Well, I think did Clay say that? I didn't watch his video, but I heard something about it, like, well, everybody sort of knew.
There were murmurs of it before Anaheim.
Mopey Tugboat was before Anaheim, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So, you're going into an event and you know that the guy sitting next to you that, you're fist bumping and trying to win the event with has tried to drop you. It's hard, right? How do you...
I've actually been in that situation before.
Really?
Back in Ghost, at the end of the year, there was like a rumor that Formal and Merc were going to team with Crim and Karma. And me and J-Cap had figured out like Saturday night. So going into Sunday, me and Cap were like super pissed. And like we had like not much competition at the end of Ghost. So we were like,
I remember that.
We were supposed to easily win that. And then we lost to, I think, like PD's team, Infused at the time. So it definitely messes with your team chem. Like, it'll throw it all off.
I remember Krim talking to me about that happening. I was like, that might be a solid move. Good luck with this event. It ended up working out for them.
And then Krim's team won the event, so it's like, sabotage this.
All right. Well, we do have one man here on this stage who won Anaheim first place for Luminosity. Also, the MVP, which I believe that's your first, right?
If you don't count Totino's, but I don't think anybody does.
Nope, we're not counting that. This is going to be your first MVP.
Yeah.
We got a photo of you with the trophy. It was an impressive victory for you. What was what was special about this run?
Oh,
Wait, there's no way that's you, bro.
that's me, dude.
That's you? That's the guy that's killed? Wow. All right, yo, producer, whoever has this picture, DM me it, and I'm not losing to you this
Imagine the bunny just with a giant trophy, and then
That's
Honestly,
exactly
every time he guns you,
the space between my hairline and my eyebrows.
Oh, is that where you're wearing a hat?
It's the potential to be a great Call of Duty player.
That's
Just think about
true.
it.
That's unbelievable.
Yo, that haircut was horrible.
Yeah. Bro, I was like 6. I don't have a choice.
Yeah.
All right, well, we know you're an incredible Call of Duty player. You got the MVP. I want to talk to the guys a little bit. For people at home that maybe don't know much about you guys outside of Call of Duty, we'll start with Tommy on the end. Are there any maybe non-COD achievements that you have, whether it's maybe first place in a sport or honor roll, which I don't know what you call that in Europe?
No idea what that is.
It's if
You know
you're
what
like
that is?
No.
It's like A, B, or do you have A's and B's? And
for school.
What?
Oh, your grades. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we had like honor roll here. Like if you're like the top of your class, what's it called there? Like if you're in like high school, is it even called high school? I have no idea.
Some people call it high school, yeah. But I don't really know what the equivalent is. But in terms of achievements outside, before Call of Duty, when I used to be a bit slimmer, played football. I was quite good at that. But then as soon as I started playing, I just dropped it all off.
Wait. You talking about football or football?
He's talking about something.
I'm assuming
He's
football.
talking about something.
No. See, we had this conversation before. When you say football, in England it's F-O-O-T, but you guys think it's F-U-T. But it's literally football.
I don't want to have this argument.
Yeah, this is a
This ain't no throwing.
Let's just.
You call your sport football, but you never use.
Why are you digging?
But it doesn't make sense.
All right, Buzzo.
Anyway.
Buzzo, what about you? I imagine you've been like a wilderness hunter or something.
What have I played?
You played all sports, or
No, what sport have I played? Like
you look like a marksman?
like a shoot.
Yes.
like a bow and arrow?
I don't know if that's a good thing or not. I mean, I'm just picturing
spelling bee champion.
No. I dropped out of school. I was pretty bad with school, so.
Well, you're a great COD player.
I mean, debatable, I think, from Twitter and everybody else.
Lesson for kids at home: go to school, you'll be better at Call of Duty.
Yeah, don't be like me.
Yeah. There you go.
No, I played tennis for about 12 years or so, from about 7 to 7 or 6 to about 16, 17. I was in a state team. Could have been better, but I had my own tennis court back down at my dad's house.
This guy's rich.
And
you have a tennis court.
I had my own tennis court. I had a ball machine, and I chose to always stay up late playing. I think might have been back then, maybe COD 4. Maybe.
That was a solid choice.
Yeah.
So I'd always wag school. I'd come home, wag school. I don't know if you guys know what that means.
I have no idea.
Ditch?
Ditch school.
Oh,
so,
okay.
Kids
at home, don't do that either.
Yeah, don't do
This guy's
that.
playing hooky. He's a terrible model.
So yeah, I'd go to school. I'd come back and I'd play COD and go to bed late when I had tennis tournaments on and. Yeah.
I'm going to wag the broadcast tomorrow.
Sounds like a good idea.
Sam, what about you? You're tall, but you're a basketball player.
I played basketball, but it was nothing like
It's like
Were you
got
good?
stuff
Yeah.
off a show.
I'd ball you up, bro.
You think so?
Yeah.
You're like 3 feet tall, though.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
I feel like that matters.
I'm 5'10". I'm like 5'9" and a half.
I don't think so.
I'll just put on some basketball shoes.
On stilettos.
I mean, like, in terms of, like, achievements, is like, I don't really, that's so sad.
right.
I don't have any. I'm a
You
great COD player. That's my motto. That's
MVP,
my,
baby, get over here.
Thank you.
That's fine.
That's
Tur
my,
LaRue.
And you had that sweet rabbit, which you probably raised for a year or two and lost.
or it was like one of those you just hold the rabbit and then leave.
Yeah, it's a stuffed animal, actually. How about you, Wheeler?
I played baseball until I was in 8th grade, and I have like 2 Little League championship trophies.
There we go.
There we go. So other than that, that's
Oh,
about
if we
it.
count participation trophies.
No, we actually won the Little League championship like 2 years in a row.
So we all seem
But-
pretty useless outside of COD, right?
Yeah. I mean, I wish I'd play other sports, but if I did, I wouldn't be a pro COD player.
Thank God for COD, or I would
I've accomplished nothing.
Yeah, I think if there was no Call of Duty, I don't think we would.
be nowhere.
That's why I'm casting.
Shit, you'd be a tennis champion.
I'm not good at anything. But all right, the reason that we're all here, guys, this weekend is for the Red Group. I do want to take a look at the schedule. If you're watching, you wonder what the matches are going to be like. We are kicking them off tomorrow at 4 p.m. You can see who's going to be going head-to-head on day 1. It is going to be Luminosity versus Mindfreak.
First and last?
No, come on.
It's actually not bad.
There's 4 teams here. It's like a late afternoon.
That's a 4.5
I like that, dude.
split.
I like that. I had that last time.
You're sick. That way you can take a little nap in between.
Yeah, but like
cold
when you're
meds?
sick, you want to play in the middle.
Bro, by the time that match is done,
that's
it's
fair.
5, and it's 3 hours.
Fair enough.
See, we're rigging it for you, buddy. I got you.
And he's all helping me.
All right, so you see the schedule there
Oh, yeah?
throughout the course of the day. Let's quickly get on the list. I like to ask who you think, maybe who's hot coming into this from your team, who the key player is to watch. Last time, I believe I talked to Studdy, and he was going off about Havoc before, I think that was stage 1. Is there anybody you really feel is going to have a strong event? Maybe going off in scrims, you're looking forward to this weekend?
I'm about to fry, dude.
I like
it
it.
out.
You're gonna say yourself?
Let it out.
Yeah, dude.
I'm fine with that.
Whoa.
I'd vote for
I'm
myself.
about to fry, bro. Just watch me.
All right, that's fine.
Nameless, ready to cook. All right,
Wheel.
you,
Nado.
Sam.
Saints.
It has to be, right?
Renato Saints.
What is going on? Like, not that he was bad, but he did not have a stellar beginning to the year, and now he's been incredible.
He's like Ghost Nato all
That's
over
my
again.
guy, dude.
He's literally just frying. It's great.
Confidence all-time high.
Yeah, it's great. I just like, he gets a kill. I'm like, oh, that's all yours, Nato. 2-piece. You're the best. You're the best. I don't have to do anything. I got spawns.
We'll be looking out for Nado this weekend. You just sit in the back. He flies
The
around.
one shot. Go get him.
Makes it easy
Go get
for you. Buzzo,
Right?
who's going big this weekend?
I'm hoping we're going to have Dens that plays against us when he left our team.
Yeah.
Because when he left our team and he
Dude,
played against
wait,
us, he dropped 40 kills at every hard point.
Didn't Sharks have like a 1.7 KD in their group at the beginning of the first week?
Something like that.
Dude, he literally.
Something. I think it was like a
annihilated.
1.48.
Like, putting on for
Sharks was
yeah.
frying.
He had like the most maps played.
Yeah.
He was about to cook.
Yeah,
great.
I mean,
Every
hey,
game.
Not
I'm
against us.
going to say Shocks, but I want the Dens that played against us.
I'm coming for Dens,
So
bro.
Dens, if you're watching,
I was playing 8s backstage, and I was screaming at him.
He was.
Oh,
you were
Hey.
screaming at Dens?
Yeah, he was getting
Oh, he
cooked.
seems like a nice guy, man.
Yeah, I know, but it doesn't matter.
I got to get in his head here.
Mental warfare.
Tommy, for Fnatic, who's prepped to have a big weekend.
All of them, really. I mean, it's every event. Every event, one of them, one different guy. Like, it's either one of the twins goes off. You very rarely see them both go off, so it's either one map scraps
Very
and the other
rarely.
Wuskin. Sunny B now and then has his maps on maps you wouldn't think he'd do it on. So
as long
like,
as he's flanking and
Wait, Sunny B
Yeah,
had some
it's-
crazy maps that I was watching, dude.
that's what I mean. So it's just now and then if he just pops one of their maps off, we're good. But Buzzo was tilting him a bit in the back of the 8s. Just kept
like-
pulling out every time he was
He's
flanking.
like the only person left that still drop shots.
yeah.
I'm mind blown. He got
well,
jetpack.
two of his team.
No,
Two of
one.
them?
No,
One of
just
them.
scraps. He just plays default controller. Doesn't play
Yeah.
claw.
That's
That's how.
Yeah,
Yeah, so when we played him at
I
Anaheim,
could never do that.
Dens was looking behind the bus on throwback, and he's aiming up high above the bus. Little does he know that the guy he's versing doesn't have a scuff. So he comes out and just drop shots him, and he's like, okay.
Yeah, that's got to be got to throw things off a bit when you have one player constantly keeping those feet on the ground. All right, let's talk a little bit about, I guess, stage 1 and Anaheim and maybe things you've taken away from it. So let's start on the end. Tommy, with you. You guys had, like you said, you won a lot of maps in stage 1, but you didn't make it out, obviously. It was a disappointing weekend where you probably felt that you should have been coming out. What do you think you guys need to change to have a different story this weekend with another tough group in front of you?
I'd say we did the hard thing. I mean, we went 1-1 with EG, 1-1 with FaZe, but Rise beat us twice. And in both of those series, I believe we took the maps that we felt if we took it, we'd then steal the S&Ds. But it sort of went the other way. We won the first hard point, and then they outplayed us on the searches. So as long as we can win the game modes that we feel we should be winning, and then, as you say, maybe sneak them up against someone like LG on a hard point or something like that they would be known as stronger on, then we got a good chance.
All right, well, same question for you. Buzzo, you had a similar, I guess, story to Fnatic. Kind of a disappointing weekend. Didn't come out in the top
Anaheim.
two and play. Well, Anaheim and stage 1. But,
I just bagging them.
Yeah, no.
oh, yeah.
Confidence.
Sorry, you've had an abysmal month of Call of Duty.
I mean,
Yeah, gas yourself up a little bit.
It's a different team, though. It's Dens.
Go to Anaheim.
honestly, I'd rather talk about stage 1 than Anaheim.
There we go. All right. Oh, don't worry.
Yeah, we'll start. Then we'll go back around.
We'll
yeah.
probably get to Anaheim eventually.
Yeah, probably.
But no, for stage 1, is Dens that missing piece? Is that going to be the difference?
I think we played stage 1 pretty good. Dens is a great player. So is Cody, but. Stat-wise, me and Cody got the same, and that's what people would like to talk about on Twitter. Cody's a better player, and I'm like, well, all right, we've got the same stats. But there was a key moments where his left stick is stuck in, and he just guns it. So for example, playing Splice, he flip spawns in a crucial moment, and that's sort of what it's what we pinned on, right? For him is he'll flip spawns and he would sort of do stupid stuff like that.
Well, this is a hard point that can, this game, and specifically several hard points can really punish you if there is a small mistake like that.
Yeah, so he was that guy that, he'd make a lot of flashy plays, he'd be in your face a lot, but he would also not know when to sort of,
Slow down.
slow down and pull it back.
Sure.
Yeah, we played everyone pretty close. We played everyone pretty close in stage 1. I feel like we ended up being 1-5, the same as C9, but I feel like we could have beat them in the last game if they weren't using Volks and all other laser guns where we sort of just lost 4 and was like, oh, you know, they can't make it anyway.
Who
but
did that?
Yeah.
C9 did, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so, you know, when I'm...
Oh, that's right.
I'm starting off
when
the
they
map
were already
and I'm
out.
looking at blue lasers fly at me, I'm like, I don't know.
Can't take it seriously.
Well,
Yeah.
we'll continue to move on. Sam, we're going to skip you because you guys won your group. You just won Anaheim.
Whatever, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, whatever you're doing is working. Just
okay.
shut up.
Okay.
And then for Nameless, you guys, I mean, the only thing you really could be flat on is starting slow Friday, right? You go 0-2, it's abysmal, and you turn it on Saturday, Sunday. How do you think you plan, or how do you plan to not run into that again where you have a real slow
Oh, I figured it out.
Okay, well then that's the answer I'm looking for. How did you figure it out?
I figured it out.
But he's not going to tell us.
Is that the answer? Oh, is it it's a secret?
Secret. I'll tell you one thing. I don't eat breakfast anymore.
Okay. Oh, so if you can't play on a full stomach?
Found the empty stomach
Is that the-
slave.
No, dude, I said this,
That's
and
the-
Jack calls me an idiot. If I eat a lot of food before I cast,
You're screwed.
I'm awful. No, like I get
Bro,
like my brain
It
feels
comes
slow.
down to hunters and gatherers, dude.
What?
What?
What are
English?
you talking about?
Listen, man. Back in the day, the primary thing for a human was to eat, and that's it. You had to hunt your food, then once you got your food, you were done for the day.
So are you hunting before the match?
So listen.
There's no way he's actually-
He's on the paleo.
So
map,
listen, your mind is not going to be working at like its highest cognitive function after you eat. It's facts.
I agree with that. I agree with that because I've
Actually
experienced it myself.
So
You're a wise.
There's no way.
when I
you
saw
say this.
Fnatic
This is
walk
actually what goes through
into
your brain.
no, this is how I think.
This is my
So when I saw Fnatic walk into the Pro Lounge with Chipotle,
Oh, that's
hot
easy
3-0,
wins. Yeah.
hot 3-0. I literally said, oh, they got Chipotle, they're getting fried.
Did you guys eat before our match?
But wait, the first
Yeah.
day when we 3-0'd you, we
I had breakfast.
had the same. We had breakfast too. So
Yeah.
even playing field, we're better.
No, it's not an even playing field because he ate.
Yeah, we ate
Better.
too.
Yeah, but you didn't say you're worse when you ate though.
Listen, Tommy, we're never on an even playing field, bro. Come on.
Whoa! Whoa! All right, so
That's
hey,
bad. You
if
just-
you'd want to be better
you
at
just
Call
lost
of
your
Duty,
breakfast. Just lost first match.
Don't eat breakfast.
don't eat breakfast.
But he also does.
Even though breakfast is the most important meal,
Yeah.
You say I just lost first match. Juju gods. I apologize, Juju gods.
you're gonna skip breakfast. Okay, moving on from I guess our dietary advice that we've now given from the desk. Well, I want to talk a little bit about CWL Sheffield. That was a European-only event that followed Anaheim. Tommy, you're on a streak of back to back. We've been playing a lot of Call of Duty lately.
Yeah.
I'm going to talk a little bit about it. First off, Epsilon. I think they were kind of expected to roll with the circumstances of the event, especially coming out of a top 3 finish at Anaheim. What is going right for this team? Because I think whether you're from North America, Europe, APAC, Epsilon is terrifying
Those
right
fools
now.
are nasty.
They're good, dude.
I'd say just how the game's playing right now suits them. It's really become like an ERAD meta at the minute, and it really suits
Vortex.
Stevo. So, as I say, Vortex,
QB's an
if
animal.
he's playing well, then, I mean, it's pretty hard to beat them because all the rest pull their weight. You've got Hawkeye who's consistent, Josh who's just going to lead it, and if he plays well, it's even better. But then if Vortex is having his game, they're really tough to beat.
Can't forget about the
Yeah, you just forgot Dave, dude.
No, but he's
Not
always
Dave.
playing well. That's what
Yeah,
I'm saying.
he's
All the
always-
rest
he's
always
a
play well.
given.
So
Oh.
it's just Vortex is that key, I think, for that team. If he's having a rough game, then they're beatable. But we ran him close on a few hard points that we messed up, but they stormed the grand final 3-0.
I was impressed with that, really.
Well, talk to me a little bit about, I guess, the Fnatic run. You guys ended up placing, what, 3rd, right?
Yeah.
At the event. What worked for you guys? What maybe had you fall short to get knocked out? How'd the weekend go?
It went pretty well. I mean, after Anaheim, we knew what we was doing wrong. We'd had no energy, our comms weren't there. The small talk and stuff it was pretty abysmal. So we went to Sheffield just trying to work on things, trying to bring more things to our game, and we did that. We ran Epsilon, as I said, pretty close in the final, the win bracket final. Beat them. They beat us 3-1. Both hard points, I think we lost by 40 points. So it's one of them ones where you're like, oh, what if we did this? What if we did that? But then the red game, we've played 4 times in a row at every event, and it's the same 4 maps in a row. We win the uplink every single time. They win the other 3 every
That's
single
tough,
time.
dude.
Oh, yeah.
So it's one of them ones I wish we was in a group with them so we could get some new maps against them.
Yeah.
So I could actually see where we are coming up to it, because when it's the same 4 maps, I mean, you try and work on them, but they are just better and them set of maps, and that's how it goes.
That's how Epsilon is, man. They're like 7-0 on breakout hardpoint. We get them.
Dude, they're so good at breaking up.
Yeah.
Really?
That's
Yeah,
Stevo again on that map.
Every
The best
time-
ERAD on it I've ever seen.
It's insane. Every time we play them, literally every time we play them, breakout hardpoint first map.
Yeah.
I'm just like, dude, are you serious right now? What is this?
0-1.
It's probably going to happen in Stage 2
Probably.
playoffs. I'll actually make sure whoever makes the rule set. I don't. I'm kidding. It's not. whoever does it. Let's talk. I'm curious. I want the opinion of kind of everybody here. What did you guys think about Splice not going. First time, did it change maybe your attitude going into the event, knowing the #1 team right now in EU and maybe top 2 in the world wasn't going? Did that change anything?
Not really. I mean, Epsilon, head-to-head, Epsilon has beaten them 3-1. So it's one of them ones where Epsilon are there. They're sort of on the same level. Epsilon beat them in the winner bracket at Anaheim and then lost in the losers. So it's sort of, yeah, it's a bit sad that they're not there to get some better practice, but again, you still got the top teams there. It's not really going to hurt it too much with one dropping out.
And Epsilon's what, 9-0 in finals as of recently? They
in map count, yeah.
Map count?
Oh.
That's something that's 6-0'd
You cannot let them get to finals.
which is absurd. Well, I'm curious your guys' opinion. Just what do you think about Splice just taking the weekend off? Like just taking
I
a little
think
bit
it
of
goes.
break?
I think Tommy said.
I mean,
I think
of a
that's
break.
fine.
yeah, I think that's fine. I mean, I would have thought it would make like a little more sense for like Fnatic since they're flying around so much, but then again, you guys needed like the practice.
Yeah, we had a
So Splice has
pretty
been
rough
playing
on
really
those
good, so it's like they can afford taking a little bit of time off and relax, and especially with the next 2 big tournaments.
Kind of works out for you guys. Like Anaheim didn't go as well as you'd expect. You kind of get a little bit more grind time in before this weekend.
Lost the red reserve in that, the same maps, and they lose it. Same thing every time.
Somebody's working against you.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk kind of, we talked about Sheffield, the European event. I want to talk kind of big picture about the regions right now, because it's obviously an esport that has been very North American dominated for a long time. Splice finishing second at Champs last year, I think started to build the argument a little bit more that things are becoming more balanced. There's always been the argument for APAC because they've had some strong finishes at COD Champs, a couple of top 6s. But what do you think of this past month? I guess Splice getting that very first win at playoffs, incredible. And then you had, what, 2 of the top 3 teams at Anaheim, 3 of the top 8. I'm kind of curious from the North American point of view, has the field closed, certainly, with how just this past month has gone?
I think that in terms of like the tier 1 teams, it's Splice and Epsilon are both top 4 teams, like worldwide top 4 teams.
Yeah.
Can't even argue it.
Which is wild. And then you have Red Reserve right now, kind of sitting right up there. They got what, top 8? They had top 6 at Dallas, if that memory holds right. So just some crazy finishes. Sam, is there anything different for you? Kind of I remember, I think you said when you play against Splice, they play pretty much like a North American
They're
team,
North American
but Epsilon's quite a bit different for you.
I was meaning to ask you, does Epsilon play weird to European
Yes,
teams?
I mean,
okay, so that's what it is. It's like Splice is the most. If you were going to compare Europe to NA, Splice is the most North American team. There's the way they play, the way their gun skill matches up against you. It's the same team.
Yeah.
But when you go to Epsilon, it's like their gun skill isn't necessarily there, excluding Dave, because
Dave is nasty.
Monster.
He's a monster.
But it's like the way they approach the. Yeah.
Oh, he's not going to be happy with that. Got Hawkey.
Hockey.
He prides himself on his shot.
Really? Hockey. I'm sorry. No, but it's the way that they approach different maps and different modes, and it's like they make you move around the map, they make you play differently, and that's like according to Tommy, it's different in Europe as well. It's the way that it works for them.
They're both good, man.
That's what when we play them, it's like our play style is challenge you gunfights, just try to just jump at you. And the way they just avoid that, and they went inside and win maps.
Oh, it continues to work for them, that's for sure. Well, the EU side then last time, what's it been like for you? Like, even though you haven't had as good a finish as maybe like Splice Epsilon, but is there a little bit of pride there, kind of seeing these teams show up? I mean, I guess what did you feel when you saw Splice maybe win Stage 1 playoffs? Because you've been around, you've been competing for a decade basically at this point. You've seen North America dominate for so long. I mean, it had to be a pretty good feeling in some regard, right?
I mean, yeah, it's nice to see that it's finally broken. Then you can't just have the people saying the same old stuff where it's, oh, we're just better than you, we're going to beat you. Because now they have to actually take into consideration, oh wait, this team's good. They're gonna do well this tournament. It's gonna be a hard matchup, and it's not always just same old stuff on Twitter. This team's better than this team. It's more now we're having more conversation, if that makes sense, with the actual scene. So
well, if you were going to argue it, there's actually an argument to be had now.
Exactly.
Like, is it necessarily has it caught up? Maybe not, but the argument is there. Whereas before, it was just sort of headbutting a wall.
I had an interview at Anaheim, and someone asked me, was like, is the skill gap between North America and Europe, is it still there? And I said no. I don't think there is any skill gap whatsoever anymore. I do genuinely think that Europe is here to stay.
Well, this past month has been brilliant. Now, I'm curious your takes kind of on APAC, what you need to do, because I think for a long time, at least for me, I've been casting since kind of the tail end of Black Ops 2, but there was always that thing for APAC that even was held over the European teams in the sense of champs, right? Because you would have these deep champs run, is what I heard every single time.
Always outplaced them.
Yeah. You would have that, but last year it doesn't happen, and then this year there haven't really been any great finishes so far, at least from the Mind Freak, the Tainted Minds. What do you think it's going to take for the remainder of the year just to kind of get on board the conversation? Because I'm sure it's frustrating.
I feel like it's practice in a way. Like, it's sort of practice, but it's not. It's just, I mean, like, Stage 1, we ran everyone close. Like, Splice, we had very close hard points. Lost 3-2 to them the second time round. Envy, obviously, you can debate. I believe they were probably better back then, right, compared to now.
Yeah, they're
So I would take that, as playing a top team close.
Yeah.
I mean, there's not much practice back home.
I was gonna ask, is it just like you guys
less
and minds?
Yeah, I mean,
like that's it.
It's like us, and then you play some underages that are good online, but they don't do anything crazy. It's not like they don't go for good pinches. They don't do stuff fundamentally right. They'll just hit the front door and.
So do you guys just scrim tainted minds all day?
But you're still better than them, right? Like tainted minds, even if you scrim them, you'll win every time in the scrim.
Well, no, not necessarily. I mean, to be honest, Cody left our team and sort of, he went around and sort of molded those guys, sort of how like we molded him in a way. But I mean, we played him online, and it's like we got to the point where it's like, oh, we're leaving for Atlanta soon, to boot camp. It's like these scrims mean nothing. We'll play proper teams, and but yeah, I think it's practice, but it's like clutching up, and then it's like learning certain situations. You get chucked in the deep end basically, and you like freeze up, and you're like, oh my god, what do I do now? What do I do here?
We got 2Ks and stuff here too, so we play against each other all the time. You can always find a scrim.
That's true.
And even like
it can only be as good as your competition is. I mean, pretty common phrase, right?
Yep.
It's got to be tough. Time to move to the United States. Okay, so
they're practically here already.
Yeah, right. Let's transition this. I want to talk. We talked about the various events and kind of regional stuff. I want to talk now about roster changes specifically, because we've had some crazy ones kind of go down. Some have happened very recently. Some have happened over the past month or so. But again, we haven't had an episode. We haven't had a chance to kind of sit down and talk about it. So. Let's start with you. You get rid of Study, who I think you could see statistically was struggling for sure.
Yeah.
You bring in a veteran, one of the all-time greats in Parasite. Talk to me a little bit about what that transition's been like and what he brings to the team.
Chris is just consistent, and that was something that Study lacked, was like that consistency. And also, Chris is sort of an in-game leader, not like a commanding in-game leader, but he assists with like where to go, what to do, and keeping us on the right track. And that takes away from part of the job that I had in Respawn. And the big thing with me for our team was I was going to run around and slay for us. So when I had to be like an in-game leader in that, it like hurt. So he helps a lot in that regard. So now like I have a consistent MV4 on the team who's going to do the same thing every life, and I know what I'm going to get out of him. So that's helped, Colt and Jared like acclimate to their role too, because now they can just, do the same thing every time. So it helps. I'm
sure. Well, like you said, you had your best finish. I know you guys have consistently been top 8, but do you think this is the... we had a question yesterday, and I'm sorry, you might not like my answer, but we had a question on one of our roundtables coming in, and I think the question was like, what does EG need to do to like kind of break through the top 8, top 6? And I answered honestly. I felt with your roster, I think top 8, top 6 is good. Like I just don't know if you can crack into the top 2 or 3, and that's just
7-8 every turn.
That's just my opinion. Like I think top 8's good for most teams, right? Like not everyone's finishing top 2, but do you think like what would it take from this team, and with Parasite added? Can you do that? Can you make a run? Can you make a grand final? Can you make a deep run?
We were one match away from getting top 4 at the last tournament versus Cloud9, who, I think we were better than them. We just weren't playing like we should have. Like every map was super close. I honestly feel like we should have won that. And previously when we played them like online and stuff, like we always beat them. So something was like not working at that time at Anaheim. But I think what we need to do to break into like that top 4, top 3, and like win is just have a really good tournament. Everybody has to be firing on all cylinders. Everybody has to be consistent. We have to trust each other. Like everything that comes with like a championship. Like I'm sure everybody who's won understands like those things that happen, and they just all have to fall in place at once.
All right, well, we'll see what you guys are able to do this weekend. Good luck, buddy. Let's talk next about the big one. It went down last weekend. It was the Gunless and Clayster trade, United and FaZe. I know we got to move. We got a lot more topics to get through, so we'll try and get through this a little bit quicker. But from you three, I'm just curious, mostly who do you think got the better end of the trade? Was it United or FaZe? You've got a young god right now in Gunless. You have one of the greatest veterans all time in Clayster. What are your thoughts, Octane?
Face value, I want to say United, but you can throw all the conjecture you want to until the first event, right? But I do genuinely think that Clay got the better end of this because, other than Silly, they're young guys. They've won. They know what it takes to win. And I think that Clay brought more to that team than Gunless brings to FaZe. Because Enable has, he's the in-game leader for them now. He's their MV4. He's the shot caller. He's all the things that Clay was before. But I think that Clay just helps United way more. I think he just brings more to the team. And, he's an in-game leader for them. He has I saw a Reddit thing the other day. Like he said he could compete with Formal when he's gunning, and he's arguably one of the better MV4s in the game when he's actually
on. Yes.
When he's on, he's one of the best MV4s in this game.
Well, so. Buzza, what do you think? Who got the better end of it, FaZe or United?
We screamed United, Clay's new team, the other night, and they mollywopped us like something fierce. I mean, I was messaging Clay. He's like, "Yep, I'll host." I'm like,
Clay.
"Oh, this is not going to go down well."
Dude, to be honest, at the time that was an amazing tweet.
Well, look at this. So this tweet, for those not familiar, this is back when he was dropped from Optic.
Yeah.
This is going way back. Was this
Champs, before Champs.
Yeah.
This is right. It happened beginning of AW, right? Yeah.
This is when I dropped Clay.
Was it?
Yeah.
Was this tweet?
So this tweet, I heat it.
Well, this got him real fired up. But all right, so this is what he tweeted. Last time when he was going through maybe a similar situation, right, where people were doubting him. And let's take a look at how it turned out for him that year.
He's got the fire right now.
This is how it ended up going. He ends up taking Champs. You see the whole squad there.
Dude, Cap looks so different. What the heck?
So when he gets a fire lit under him, man, he can be an absolutely terrifying force.
And he has that fire right
That's
now.
what he needs. When he gets dropped, he's
But Tommy, do you think are E United right up there as some of your favorites for Champs because of this and because of the talent they already have?
I'd say on paper, FaZe look just because of the events Gondas has had. I'd say everyone would be like, all the fans would say FaZe have got the better.
But it hasn't been, which is what's funny. It's been all play.
Yes,
Well,
I feel like the acclimation period of Clay into United is better than Gunless into FaZe.
Because Clay's now, as he says, he's gonna have that fire. He's gonna want to, if they come up against FaZe, Clay will want to beat them more than they will want to beat Clay.
Exactly.
And there's nothing you can do about it. It's one of them things where you play against someone and they've just got that. I don't know how to explain it. Like, they just want to win more, even though you're wanting to win as much as you can, and you can't. It's weird.
I feel like that's his biggest asset. Is his hype and
passion.
Keep in mind, United had no hype man before this.
Yeah, that's true.
It's true.
Nobody knows how they play.
Well,
We play screaming, man.
That's right. That's
you listen
right.
to their comms and it's like,
Well,
Yeah, Justin, like, one shot.
we talked.
Let's go!
We talked about roster changes. We talked about splitting up duos, splitting up teams. A couple of guys in a team I think would be very difficult to split up right now. It's Fnatic, and it's the twins of Wuskin and Scraps. We've actually got them on stage with Jack.
I am already regretting this, Maven. In just the moments we've been up here, I cannot believe what I've heard. We've given them one rule. There cannot be any cursing. I had to then explain to them what curse words are. So we're off to a great start. First off, we are here with the twins from Fnatic. Let's have you introduce yourselves because I'll be honest, I have no idea who I'm talking to. Thankfully, you have a beard. You don't. First, start over here. No, I'm just kidding. Scraps, introduce yourself.
I'm Scraps and I play for Team Fnatic.
All right.
Wuskin, Team Fnatic.
All right, so pretty simple. Tommy up there. Okay, and the banter already begins. So if you couldn't tell, these guys are brothers. I've got some questions here for everybody at home to get to know them a little bit more because you know what? We see Tommy's stream, but you guys... Okay, well, so now let's head into this. Let's first start off with some questions about each other. How's that sound? I want to start with, what's your brother's best COD moment? Scraps, we'll start with you. What's your brother's best COD moment?
I'd probably say getting picked up by me.
Yeah, is that the peak of his career? Is you picking him up?
Yep.
Wow.
100%. That's literally the only thing he's got on me.
All right. Okay, well, what's his best COD moment?
He hasn't got one. He hasn't got one.
You little lump.
Is that really? There's no best COD moment for him so far in his whole career?
Come on, you've got to. This is his second year, and I can't think of anything you've done. Honestly.
Oh, okay.
Honestly,
well,
fair play.
That was the best COD moment. I can only wonder where we go now from here as we head to what's your brother's worst COD moment. Do you need a moment? We can.
I keep going.
Okay, you go first.
His worst COD moments coming top 8 at I-Series. he come top 8 at I-Series, and the only good team that was there was Epsilon, which was my old team. That was the only good team that was there.
Wow.
Your worst moment. He probably lost to a cheeseburger.
I didn't know cheeseburgers could play Call of Duty. Wuskin, your turn now. Defend yourself. What's his worst COD moment?
His worst moment? His whole career is just a shambles. It's dreadful.
Everything's been bad.
Everything about it.
And now, okay, so far, we can see where we stand between these two. I know we've got a lot of banter. Wuskin, this one for you first now. If your brother could change one thing about you, what would it be and why? What do you think he would want to change about you?
Probably my hairline. Most likely.
Yeah?
Yeah, my hairline. 100%.
Just your hairline. And just before this, what were you saying? You were going.
Just he's losing hair. He's sweaty. It's going great. It's all falling out.
Look at that brotherly love.
Proper bad, just a bad trim. Don't even start. Don't even start.
All right, now I know now this is his turn now to get roasted. Watch this. Scraps, if your brother could change one thing about you, what would it be and why?
You know exactly what it is. You know exactly what it is. My weight.
Oh, is that why? What do you call him? A lump?
Lump of lad.
Look at that. That's beautiful love there. Okay, we got one more question. One more question before we send it back to the boys. Your teammate Tommy's on stage. What's the worst part about teaming with Tommy? I know there might be a long. No, I'm just kidding. He's a veteran for a reason. We'll start with you. Worst part about
The
teaming with
worst thing
Tommy?
about teaming with Tom, he's always right.
Oh,
Tom's always right, even if he's wrong.
Even if he's wrong, he's right.
Yeah.
That's the worst. What about you, Weskin?
He's just got an ego.
He's just got an ego.
He's got an ego.
He does?
Yeah.
All right, listen.
No, I don't.
Listen, we're all brothers here, all right? I want you to walk together, embrace as we send it back to the stage. Go ahead, give each other a hug. Show you love each other. Look at that. Back to you, Maven.
Thank you. Wow. That was phenomenal. Brotherly love. That's incredible. Who
That's
here?
what it's like 24/7.
Is that what your scrims are like?
Yep.
I don't know if I'd just be laughing or pissed, but that's
I mean,
amazing.
at the start you're laughing and everyone watching's laughing, but then me and Sonny sometimes like, mate, like, this is terrible.
That's like having 2 killers on your team. Imagine 2 slosses.
Dude,
That's probably what it is.
Sloss,
They'd feed off each other.
Would you be surprised if Sloss had a twin somewhere that just like appeared?
Everyone has a twin, man.
Frank Gallagher.
Everyone. Shameless. Oh my god.
Oh yeah, I was pretending
no
like
idea.
I was pretending
Yeah,
like I knew.
no
I was like,
idea.
oh yeah.
That's actually a brilliant shout. Why have I never thought of that? Because we have Shameless in England as well.
Yeah. Sloss is
true.
Frank Gallagher.
Oh my God. All right, so we're moving on from the Sloss twin brother topics. All right, we're gonna go to bucket list. So.
Oh man.
All right, I'll give you guys like 5 seconds to think. We're gonna start with you. Now this cannot. COD Champs can't be on there. I know you've gotten a second at COD Champs. You can't say Champs. That's too easy. That's too easy. That's too easy.
You gotta come back to me then.
Okay, all right. Tommy, you've been doing this a long time. You're smarter than the rest. What would be on your bucket list?
In anything?
Anything.
I don't know.
I don't know.
That's what I sound like.
There's just nothing that you have to do before the day that you're finally buried in the ground. That got dark.
The only one you said is COD Champs, but like.
Is that what everyone wants to do more than anything? Win COD Champs? I like these guys. Yes.
I mean, there's other stuff like later on in life I like to do, but I mean, right now, just.
Well, it's not. It doesn't have to be now. It could be 20 years from now.
Yeah, but I can't think like that.
All right, I'm gonna answer for you. You wanna marry a supermodel? Okay.
My girlfriend.
Yeah. No, yes, your girlfriend.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good.
No, it's not.
Buzzo, what about you? Probably like wrestle an alligator in the outback.
Just straight to the Australia joke, man.
That's the only place
What
my
if he was
brain
gonna
can
say
go.
I was just gonna like self-roast myself and be like, oh, get a positive KD.
No, we said bucket list, not possible.
Oh,
Come on. He's already bagging himself on it.
I'm sorry.
Like, come on.
man.
I'm sorry. I'm kidding.
Oh.
Kidding.
I'm not answering it now.
All right, so above a 1.0, that's a good bucket list item. Sam.
Skydiving. I am definitely.
I couldn't do.
I am.
What a cliche answer.
No, I'm serious.
Oh,
though.
that's a good one.
If I go to sports stadiums and I sit in like nosebleeds, I get I'm definitely afraid of heights. So skydiving for some reason is just.
I don't think I could do it. I get scared of going on like the top of a water slide. No.
My girlfriend said she puts me on if I have to. I love roller coasters though, which is really weird.
Actually, so do I.
I love roller
coasters. I do okay.
Yeah.
But not skydiving. No, I think I'd vomit and faint.
Yeah.
What about you? You had like a solid minute.
Yeah, release my rap album.
Release your rap album.
What do you mean I got bars?
Do you?
Well,
Do
go on,
something now.
Yeah, I think you should.
Wait, go now?
If
Yeah, right now.
If you've got bars,
Nah,
Just spit that fire. Is that what the young kids say?
nah.
Oh.
It's nice and chilling.
think about all the people watching. These
We got a
these
game.
are potential
we got
album
we got a
buyers.
game in here this weekend.
I'm gonna
Can't
help
light it on
fund,
fire.
I'll help fund the production of that so I can get some cheddar at the end of the.
Oh, there you go. Cheddar. Wow, we're using terms like that now.
Oh my god.
I bring up rap, he starts using cheddar.
I don't know.
What's next, homie?
I like homie too. Okay, next up, we're talking about Gamertag origin. So I'm sure you guys have answered this question maybe at some point in your career, but for viewers that may not be familiar with it, where did Nameless come from?
Long story. I'll try to shorten it down. Back in COD 2, my name was, well, my first gamer tag was Bojangles, don't ask. And it was AMW, which is like my initials, and then it was Kamikaze. So I went through all these whack names, and then I like made a forum post. I was like, what should I make my name on the Game Battles forums back in the day? And like everybody replied. And my one friend, he was like, make it Nameless. And I was like, nah, that's lame, dude. He's like, you can't figure out a name, make it Nameless. And then DazBest15, Ryan, he ended up passing away. And then after that, I made it Nameless, and I just kept it since. So.
I think you have one of the better gamer tags in
100%.
COD, honestly.
Thank you.
I like Nameless quite a bit.
Thank you.
Octane, I like to imagine that
The
your
Ghost
gamer
Map.
tag.
Hi.
I like to think that you watched like a Fast and the Furious film. And
He has a
all of
horrible
sudden-
name, dude.
What's Octane?
Who are you,
from?
bro?
Octane. Dude, top 5 worst pro COD names.
High octane, always.
See, like that's not that. I didn't even mean to do that.
No, I don't. I like octane. Where
Okay, so it wasn't the map, obviously. It was like when I started playing competitive Call of Duty in Black Ops 2, it was literally like, okay, my gamertag is currently trash. I need something.
What
And
was
it was like it was Octane, but it was spelled wrong. It was like OCTAI.
Well, we all did that. We all did that when we were younger. Yeah.
So I spelled it correctly, and then the next game was Ghosts, and it was just downhill from there.
As soon as Ghost came out and the map Octane hit, your name became.
Ironically enough, I was trash at that map.
Yeah, boots on the ground.
That seems like that'd be a map you'd be good at.
Yeah,
too. Like the
boots on the
Remington comes out, it's like the only map you'd see it on. Okay, down the line, Buzzo.
Boots on the.
I don't know.
What, you just like woke up and had an epiphany
Yeah.
one day?
What?
Or you had like a
Yeah.
great
I'm not buying that.
I don't remember. I've had it for, yeah, I mean, like 8 years or something like that. And I don't know. I honestly don't remember.
Dude, thank God, like John is not.
I wonder if we could.
Yeah, I mean,
change our name.
That's why I like. That's why I like. So
well, I mean, when I was younger.
Yeah, Tommy, why is yours?
yeah, Tommy. Why is yours Tommy?
Originally,
Yeah.
my name was Revenge, but then I used to hate it at events when people are like, oh, Revenge.
I don't blame.
And then I'd be like, oh, that's
is
just
kinda
kind of
lame.
weird. So then I was like, back on the days in GB, I wrote Tom in, thinking I could get the original one. And it said, why not try Tommy with an E? So I was like, okay.
That's like
I
when
was
you
Try
gotta.
it. So the GB
okay.
thingy. Shut at me.
I actually, everyone calls me Maven, whether it's players. I think my girlfriend and my parents, the only people that call me Clint, but I'm fine with it because the name Clint sucks. Like
That's rough.
I'm totally fine with Maven. Like everyone, I actually don't know what to do when we go out to different events, whether we're at developers or talking with different people, how to introduce myself. I usually actually just say Maven now. I might as well just legally
I like
change it.
dude.
That's why you can't really
Maven is a
Revenge.
dope name.
Yeah, I
Low-key.
like it. It actually means to be like ridiculously like skilled in a field is what it means.
What field is
okay.
it?
Any field. Like you're the Maven of
Like,
Call of Duty,
no,
the
you
Maven
have-
of
like,
this.
do you have a?
Wow.
Oh no, I'm not good at anything.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna.
I'm the best resto shaman on the server.
Like that.
Okay. Next up, we talked about Gunless versus Clay a little bit earlier. You heard the opinions of the guys on the desk. I want to take a look at some of the tweets that we got from you guys just out in the public. What did you guys think about this matchup? The first one, oh, sorry, this is actually the question.
Wow,
the social call
What a tweet.
FaZe or E United? Who got the better deal? Tweet us using the hashtag MLG Hot Mic. Don't do that because we already did that part. This is from Wallentimisic.
The BOTG legend.
Yeah, so FaZe for the rest of IW. I'm assuming he's saying Gunless, and for the rest of World War II coming up, they should have kept the well-known boots on the ground legend Clay, which I think I kind of agree there.
Yeah,
I think
play
Gunless is
Long
better. Gunless is better for the rest
Well,
of the
wasn't
year.
Attach meant to be swapped over? I've watched Clay's video and he said
Yeah.
something like,
Yeah.
it's 3 a.m.
Bro,
you
they
went
all wanted to
sleep.
drop each other.
Yeah,
Like,
so
it
it's, I mean, it could have gone really anyone,
They
but
all wanted to stay on FaZe. So.
yeah.
It was a nightmare. What's the next one? Let's see what somebody else had to say. I actually read through the responses to this. 99% were going towards Clay, and I think this is part of it. You know, E United get a proven veteran in Clay. FaZe lose their leader and hype man in return for a newcomer. E United win the trade with ease. And I think this goes a little bit hand in hand with what you were saying earlier, Buzzo, kind of with maybe the Excite situation. Like,
No, I agree to that.
there's people that are really behind it. Like he provides intangibles that you can't really replace. And I don't think to an average viewer, and even me as a commentator, sometimes you look at stats so much because a lot of times, you know, specifically in this title, when it comes to Respawn, stats do tell the story a lot of the time, but there are other pieces to it. But were you guys shocked maybe to see how overwhelmingly it has been towards Clay? Do you think the whole Gunless situation with not playing at Anaheim and that whole humble factor with him, like, are people sort of doubting his skill all of a sudden? Because I think he went from like top 3 player to
I think people.
No,
still think
people
he's
just
top
jump
player.
on like a wave, kind of. Like, I mean, it just happens.
It's
like,
recency
Like
bias.
Clay has like a lot of fans, obviously.
Yeah.
Like he's one of the bigger people in our esport, and like he is really good, and a lot of stuff people are saying is true. But Gunless is really good too, and it's easy to like dislike somebody after like something like that happens, and people like make their certain assumptions and stuff, and then. I mean, people just like Clay. It's easy to like jump on a wave with something.
Oh, I get it. I know my casting career goes their way. But
Yeah.
3 months, people love my ability to commentate. 3 months, they think I'm the worst commentator ever exist. It literally just changes. And that's just part of the world we live in with Twitter, Reddit, and all the other social media sites.
People love the underdog.
How do I be an underdog? Is the ball thing not enough?
Ask Clay, dude.
All right.
Dude, he's gonna have like a 4.0 against
Dude,
FaZe.
Clay has mastered that.
He's gonna have like a 4.0
mastered the
against FaZe.
underdog.
He probably will.
It's gonna be great.
All right, well, we also asked you guys just to reach out with questions that you had. I want to take a look at some of the Twitter questions that came through. The first one, Oxygen, my buddy from France, one of the commentators across the ocean. How many Nandos do Wuskin and Scraps eat each year? Are they still over there?
There's Wuskins.
How much Nandos?
Dude, it's only
Three or four times a week?
Really that much?
Wow.
It's like Cap with Chipotle.
Bro, it's the only thing you can eat in London. Is that all you eat?
That is true.
That's all I would eat.
I like Nando's.
There's not even a smile from him as well. That's like
3 to 4 times a week.
No, but we had.
Nando's is
I would eat it every day, and then be my only meal.
No, but recently,
and it's chicken too. That's like,
I mean, it's only like chicken's good.
Dude, their
fried
hot
chicken's
dogs
good,
come in a
but
can, bro. You cannot like buy groceries.
all it is chicken.
Jack and I were traveling, and we got to a point where I think we ate. We had like 4 or 5 meals in a row that ended up being Chipotle. Like it just weirdly happened, and I was like grossed out a little bit by the end of it. I was
dude,
like, I don't really want Chipotle.
I can have Chipotle like
now.
once a week. Cap's an animal, dude. He's
Cap's a strange guy.
We've been having it every day.
He's in Hawaii right now. Hope you're having fun, Cap. Stay away from.
That was an argument. I was arguing with the Euros about American food and European food.
European food's trash.
Reedy tweeted out a picture of a breakfast.
Yeah, but you
Did you
guys
see that?
don't know where to go, so like
yeah. It was like
No.
It looked amazing.
Yeah,
and he
like-
was like, "This is terrible." I'm like, "What?"
Nah, dude. There's
You're
like
tripping.
just general food.
like fast food. You
Like,
mean
no,
like,
not fast food. Just
Tommy, listen. When you
food.
come here, you eat Chipotle every day. That's how you know
No,
our
see,
food
I don't. I go Chipotle because him and Scraps eat it every day, but I'd happily go anywhere.
English food.
Yeah, exactly. Because American food is fire.
Well, no,
It has no flavor.
it's just every street you go down, there's like 5 different takeaways.
Exactly.
But that's not fire.
That is fire.
Yeah, it is fire.
I'd live off fast food. It wouldn't kill me.
Yeah, same.
Yes.
Why can't a burger be a nutritional value?
Hotel food.
Okay, well that's hotel food.
Yeah, but it was Hilton, so you'd think maybe.
Oh, the hell.
You guys realize that
You're fighting an uphill battle.
we've spent a solid
I'm not gonna
15
win.
minutes on food during the show.
Food
First
and
the
diet-
breakfast
yeah,
thing,
dietary.
now this.
Yep.
All right, next question. We're moving off from food, never to use those topics again with this group. All right, next one. The world has been taken over by zombies. What caster do you choose to be your survival buddy, and who would you never choose?
I'm never choosing Mr. X probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'd.
Matt's dead for sure.
Yeah, no, he wouldn't survive.
No, because I think he would just probably like leave me out to dry.
Oh yeah, he's a snake, man.
Like if the zombie's chasing you, he's like breaking your leg and just.
I'm probably picking. Oh man, I wish Rambo was still a caster. I'd pick Ray.
Think so?
Yeah, but
Ray?
current casters.
He's good at everything. He's like good at bowling, good at golf. He's probably good at survival
His bowling
stuff too.
videos are crazy.
Clint,
Oh, yeah.
you watch Walking Dead?
No, I quit after season 1.
Oh yeah. See, I can't pick Clint.
Why not?
Show's trash.
I was gonna pick Clint. He's the biggest. I feel like that would make.
What if you need to eat me or something, or if we had to fight a bear?
If it came down to that, yeah. But I mean,
Okay.
it's like from a just the logistics.
I think that I'd be able to survive a few.
So, I mean, like,
I'd
okay.
probably pick Clint too. Actually.
Yeah, like, are you gonna go Jack? You're not gonna go Jack.
Yeah, I can't pick.
You can't go Jack.
Yeah,
Jack's
but you just
lost
Jack to
38
run off.
pounds.
Exactly.
Yeah, he's not good for anything anymore.
If he was still big, I'd take him.
Yeah.
Just make him run through zombies.
Like a bowling ball. Oh God! All right, so I think we've just about done it. That was fun. This might be our longest show we've ever done. You guys did excellent.
Good time.
There was some great conversation, some fun topics. But guys, before we go, we've got stage 2 still. $700,000 are on the line, but we still have COD Champs coming up. You guys can go to mlg.tv/champs. It's actually /CWL Champs, like the graphic says. That's where you can go buy tickets even. It's in Orlando this year. We've moved it to the East Coast. It's going to be incredible. $1.5 million on the line. But right now, Luminosity probably the favorites for Champs. Octane, there's no pressure on you at all.
There's been no multiple
So be it.
LAN winners so far.
Yeah, until we came around.
There's one if you
Yeah, there
count
has-
Paris.
Until we came
That's if you
around.
count Paris.
Juju
Not on
God
Dallas
just heard that. You're screwed.
No. There hasn't been one multiple LAN winner.
No, there has. There's Optic
Optic.
won an event and then they won ESWC.
Yeah, Paris and Dallas.
It doesn't
count.
Yeah.
All right,
I mean,
guys.
honestly, I forgot about that. So then, I mean,
Doesn't count.
but everybody I spoke
Yeah.
to said the
Sam
same
said
thing.
it doesn't
so,
count because he had a
yeah.
pick up.
That's a
there,
flat out lie.
why.
Hey, I want to say you guys did a really good job. This was a lot of fun. We had some great conversation. Real quick before we go, let's take a look at the schedule for Friday. We've got epic matches coming up. These 4 squads right here are going to be duking it out. Top 2 will move on to play for $500,000. It's been another fantastic episode of Hot Mic. We're going to see you tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern.
I'm off the scene.
We lit.